Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Experience 112 Blind. I've searched this part, so let's continue forward. There's a barricaded bulkhead that I can't really interact with, so let's continue further down the corridor. It seems to be either a kitchen or some kind of a storage.
Moving on. Mold. I'm not surprised with all this moisture, but these plants, how are they growing without any light? So many questions.
Well, is there nothing interesting here? Apparently not. It's also an interesting place to point a camera at, because it should be a little bit higher from the door to prevent the exact situation that's happening now from, well, happening. Does she really find nothing of interest in here? Okay, this is wildly out of focus. Well, let's continue onwards then, I guess. It's another one of those computer terminals for her to check out, and also a broken safe with a keycard.
What a disappointment. This is where we stocked the ready-to-use hydroxide oxygen mix. Everything was destroyed. What will...
Well, there's
Too bad. We'll have to make some oxygen ourselves. It will take longer, but it's the only way. Let me enter new objectives.
I was about to say, there's literally a keycard.
The oxygen solution is made by mixing two ingredients. First, to locate ingredient 1, ingredients for the second part, create the solution. Inhale in the tank. I think I've included everything.
Okay, does it tell me where the ingredients are? Ingredient number 1, but it doesn't tell me even what the ingredient is. That's weird. But, oh well. I guess I'll do what I was doing anyway, which is exploring, room by room. But do notice the card, it seems important. Obviously.
Nitromercurial trisulfate, one of the hydroxide oxygen ingredients, the first of the two. We just need to make the other. Good, that's a start. Well done, we didn't waste any time. I will update the objectives.
Wait, but what about the card? Is it really not important? Seems weird, with it being so prominently displayed, but she literally looked in the safe and took the other thing and left the card, so...
Let's keep going. Maybe there's something else in the safe?
Wait.
I'll check it again.
Why did it... Okay, that's kind of retarded and annoying, because she was literally looking at it, so why couldn't she pick up the card?
Password. This must be Lab Director Francois Pierre's password. Make a note of this. It could be useful. Can you read it? No? Even with the zoom?
Well,
okay, let me write it on the board.
You could just close into the camera, Do I need to write it down myself? Because if so, then it's going to
Is that better?
deteriorate. Okay.
I will also save it in the shared folders.
Ah, okay.
It could be
Okay.
useful later.
Indeed, it could. Okay, more chemicals and stuff. Ah, there's a freezer. Locked with a code. But seeing how there was literally this guy's thingamajig card here, I would assume he was the one responsible for this lab, so I guess it's time to look through his through his files. Those two I got from Zeitfel, but I'm not going to read them yet because that would probably take most of the episode, and I'm not looking for anything specific as of now, and I would prefer to, you know, interlace the actual game part with reading as opposed to spending all the episode on reading. But where is the thingamajig? F. Pierre Teriades. Okay. I'm going to check it because obviously it seems to me that he might have the password for the freezer. So let's check. Francois Pierre, professor responsible at the Laboratory of Experimental Ethology and Comparison. Okay. Yeah, code of access to the freezer, and there's also a code of access to the vault, which also seems important for later. So, 31005B. 31005B.
The refrigerated locker, and it looks to be working. It's a miracle that beam didn't destroy it. The hydroxide oxygen, it's hurt me in the past. How will I react this time?
Wait, so...
I'm okay. I guess it's a weak concentration.
So I don't need to create it after all? It's weird.
Oh, that feels good. Thank you. Too bad there isn't any more. I absolutely have to find a way to inhale oxygen, and lots of it.
Oh, okay. Well, so I guess that didn't really help. Go back here. I don't think I checked. Wait, is it another one of those switches that changes the level?
Alright, I'm going up. Area change. See you soon.
Didn't want to do that actually. Yeah, I shouldn't have clicked that. Well, I am going to go back because I want to, unless prompted otherwise by the game itself, I prefer to search it, level by level, as opposed to bits of the levels.
Okay, let's go below.
Okay, so I'm back here. Okay, so go to this junction. There's a toilet or something. Anything in there? More pin-ups. Well, let's check it anyway. Nothing? Okay.
I'm sure I've been here before. The images, the visions are coming back.
And again, she is collapsing.
Wherever you go, whoever you are, no matter what, I'll come to you. Even out there at the ends of the earth, without the sun and without air.
Okay, wasn't expecting that.
Again with these visions, I don't know if they are dreams or nightmares. We have to keep moving. Lead the way.
Well, I guess the files did mention that she was infatuated with the subject 112. So maybe it was mutual. Anything here? She just randomly checked one of the lockers. I would have checked them all, you know, for important information or like a weapon.
That's my handwriting. I recognize it. This is my...
journal. Unfortunately, can't really read that. I wonder if she will share. Any drawings? Nope. Well, I guess some of them are locked with a padlock or stuff, but most of them aren't, so it's still weird to me how she only checked some of them.
I have to tell you about him. It's been so long. I forgot the name he had before. I remember his number, his rank among the receptors, 112. The notebook says he was admitted on the base on May 2nd, 1970, and was selected for experiments 10 days later. It's possible. I don't remember the dates. I was ordered to train him. It was the 25th receptor under my care. I felt right away he had something special. An aura, charisma, maybe his sixth sense, very acute. I felt like he was reading my thoughts like the words off a page. I spoke to Professor Zeitfeld about it. He thought I was requesting special treatment for 112 and reprimanded me. Receptors had a hard life with us, it's true, like soldiers. It's useless to pamper them, since their fate is death. They slept in their harsh rooms, ate their meals alone, and were forbidden to talk to anyone. I'm boring you with my stories. Anyway, a digital copy of my notebook exists on the base's intranet. You can consult it at your discretion. I saved it in my sensitive files. To access them, log in the system under my profile. Click on the Folders tab, and then on the sensitive folders. The system will prompt you for the code. Here it is. It's arcane. I'll spell it. A-R-C-A-N-E. This code will grant you access to my sensitive files, but not to those of other base personnel. Everyone define their own passwords, as you can imagine.
It's interesting that she's sharing her journal with me. I wouldn't do that. Because incidentally, I also do have a journal, and I would have never shared it with a stranger. I wouldn't even share it with my friends or my family. In fact, I'm pretty sure the only person that will read it as long as I live is me. Obviously, I will probably include directions on how to get it in my will, in case any surviving relatives would like to know what was going through my head in the past. But at this point, I won't care about secrecy anymore. But as is, now, I wouldn't want anyone to read it, and yet here she is.
Why are you leading me that way? There's nothing to...
She's looking at her face.
My face? How it has changed. These visions invading my mind, they feel like ancient memories. How long was I unconscious? I'd really like to know.
Well, to be honest, it didn't seem to me she changed that much from the flashbacks or whatever they were. I also don't think it's possible for her to go past here. Oh, okay. So it's like a shallow... I thought it led to another level entirely, but it's like a shallow breaking in the floor or something. So let's explore this to the end. This is a sauna, I think. Oh, there's another corpse. Pretty gruesomely looking, actually. But I still feel like...
That man, on the bench, Abdullah. Please don't ask me to search him, nor this floating carcass.
Well, I really think you should. Obviously, it's probably important.
No, I don't want to. I can't stay here. Let's get out.
Will she not do it? Perhaps she need to be
Something just touched my ankle. It was cold and slimy. Quick, let's get out of here.
Perhaps she needs to be prompted by an actual in-game event that would require her to search this guy's corpse. As is, she seems to not be really well predisposed towards them. But I've actually searched everything on this level as well, which means I'm actually ready to leave. But before I do that, there's like a bajillion of files that I would like to and probably need to read, starting from the journal itself, I guess, although I still haven't read all of the files of Francis Pierre, so let's look through that. Francis Pierre's password, personal files, HO compounds, mixes and ingredients. Is a toxic and unstable acid solution with a high boiling point and exists naturally in a gaseous state, but can be stored in a liquid form pursuant to a lengthy preparation. Its formula was a long-standing enigma, with rare samples not providing a pure enough form to identify it confidently. A high-quality sample, lifted directly from a secreting animal in November 1963, allowed for its analysis, and later the following year, its synthesis by Professor Alan Morin. It's a thingamajig made of sodium penhydrate, pergament, blah blah blah, chemical jargon, the fourth substance present in the very weak quantities in the organic composite, thereby impossible to synthesize, as it resembles no other known chemical class, is typically inhaled since the few intramuscular injections tests on animal subjects had caused heavy hemorrhaging and death within the following hours. Okay. Theriates, castes and civilization. Recent studies initiated have further revealed the structure of Theriates communities, to this date not having been subject of more than superficial and fragmented studies. We now better understand how these creatures, similar to insects in their morphology and behavior, socialize with their cities, the proper name given to the vast contracts they build underground, are thus divided into 5 castes with predetermined and specific tasks, as defined by the collective. The nursery caste, known as the healing breath, the warrior caste, Sabulate Chalicerie, the worker caste, called fluid mass, to to which there are added two separate castes, the unique elixir, ranked at the bottom of the scale, but the only one able to mix with the enemy Oxaldines race, and finally the supreme caste, procreation of renewal, ensuring the perpetuation of the species through a single individual, the mother creator, presiding over 700 years over the destinies of the communities. Okay. I wonder, how do they know that? Like, if they weren't able... Well, I guess they could be able to communicate with them a little bit, because they deciphered the meanings of some of the pheromones in one of the earlier messages. But how do they know, for example, that the queen, well, the mother creator, has been ruling for 700 years? It seems to me it would require, studying their texts of culture or actually discussing their own history with them. Research supports the theory that Tyrate society as a collective is subject to the law of cycles, shall soon become the subject of an advanced collaborative study undertaken by various laboratories. Okay. Essentials of cryptology, Polybius Square, Blade of Veneer. Cryptography appears to some as an outdated science. This discipline of rendering message unintelligible to protect its content is no longer in the good graces of specialists. Indeed, what is the purpose of studying ancient mathematician grids when computers can generate encryption keys 1,000 times more complex? Nevertheless, some of us inside the Eden base believe that manual systems have their proper place. Computers can break down, and the human mind cannot hold the decryption key. This is why we now encrypt our written exchanges, correspondences, file transfers, by using one of two methods. The Polybius square consists of matching each letter within a numeric grid. Okay, so this is pretty self-explanatory. It's like 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 1 5, and then 2 1, 2 2, 2 2, 2 3, and so on, so on, and so on. The more elaborate, which requires a password and a more elaborate grid, with this simple precaution, the security of our exchanges is ensured. Okay, this, on the other hand, seems like a pain, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to use it at some point. Audio recording of the combat tirades, number 1. Is this supposed to be so quiet compared to her talking? I can't really hear anything distinct. There was some human chatter at the beginning, but now it's pretty... Okay, I think that was someone coughing or something. Is this supposed to be so quiet? It's pretty much unintelligible to me at this volume. Well, whatever. Wait. Oh, okay, this is just a stop button, I guess. Recreational activities. Be warned, it's not a pleasure cruise. Those believing they are being promoted by their integration into the team are unaware what awaits them. Exhausting work, grueling schedules, confined spaces. The most difficult is that after 12 to 15 hours, they will be unable to take a stroll on the outer deck or take a swim in the nearby lagoon, as the rules forbid access. Poor lab rats. In the light of productivity, being a direct function of well-being, I propose the establishment of activities area which is solely lacking. Why not organize checkers or card tournaments or softball games? Why not even convert the freshwater reservoir into a pool once a week? What? That seems like an awfully stupid idea, because if by a freshwater reservoir you mean a reservoir of water destined for drinking, which would make sense on a ship, because even though you're literally sailing through water, it's salt water, so you can't drink it. If it's drinking water, then swimming in it seems like an awfully bad idea to me. Couldn't the library offer more than dry scientific reviews? We are human beings, not machines to be sprayed down with a hose. Okay. And another audio recording. And again, this is so quiet that I can't... Well, I'm going to briefly change that. But it's weird because the woman, Lea, is clearly audible to me.
The animal kingdom. It's polyphonic, isn't it? Yes, we can hear many voices. Maybe Tyrians have a double or triple trachea. Oh, if only we had a complete specimen. Don't count on it. These creatures take great care of their dead. They never abandon a carcass. Alas.
Okay, so we're talking about how the creatures take great care of their dead, so it's difficult to capture, to find a specimen, even in the form of a corpse. I can't hear that. Like, it seems to me this must be a bug, right? Because the woman is clearly, audible.
Hear that, Elgon? That's unbelievable. No earthly animal has such a powerful cry. My sound level meter shows 112 decibels, and we're 30 meters away. Note, various kinds of cries, expressive, are moved. In any case, fluctuations of the hormonal dosage.
Okay, so the tirades attack by like a sonic attack with a cry. But this game is weirdly optimized in terms of sound, because I had to crank it up all the way to full sound volume, and still it's not that loud, whereas the woman herself, Lea, was clearly audible to me even before.
The amplitude of these cries is astounding. It ranges from hyperacute to sub-bass. You are right, Pierre. There is no equivalent in the animal kingdom. It's polyphonic, isn't it? Yes, we can hear many voices. Maybe Tyrians have a double or triple trachea. Oh, if only we had a complete specimen. Don't count on it. These creatures take great care of their dead.
Yeah, take great care of their dead. Okay, but I'm weirded out by how this works, and to be honest, a little bit annoyed, because if I left it at max volume, the rest of the volume of the game would be unbearable, it would drown out my own voice, and yet this seems obviously important, so I'm not sure why they botched it like this. Okay, I don't think I have a password for his personal files, although tirades. I did have a password access vault. I think it's a physical place, the vault, but I'll test it. 2514, just in case. Okay, files. Okay, so I don't have the access to this. I do, however, have the access to his mail. This I've read, Polybius Square. Hello, Francis. I am flattered that you sent me a Polybius square exercise, a great introduction to the science of cryptography. To elucidate my report, I shall use an example which I disclose to you. I shall encrypt your sensitive files access code. Please excuse this intrusion of privacy, but I think it will be more useful to encrypt a word that will serve you rather than a random one. Invented by the ancient Greeks, the Polybius square is a 5x5 grid with a character in each of its squares. If a copy is found in your files, to encrypt a letter from a word, identify the horizontal and vertical coordinates within the Polybius square. A becomes 1, 1. Yeah, this is pretty self-explanatory. So, but can I open 2 tabs at once? Because it would obviously be... okay, I think I can. So, close that, and then go back to files, and there was the thingamajig right here. So 3.5 is P, PO, POA, no, POE, wait, what? That does not make sense. Well, let me try it just in case, but I think I must have done something wrong. Okay, let's try again. It would be easier if I had something to write down the letters myself. I guess I can use this tab actually, because I can have a number of them open at once. So 3.5 is P, then 3.4 is O, then 3.1, oh, I've overlooked that, is L. What? Okay. Then 5.4 is Y. Wait, is he going to, did he literally use the name of the code as the code? That's again supremely stupid. But wait, that was, yeah, this is 5.4, this is Y, and then 1, 2 polyb. Wait, and the last one 1.5. Okay, I don't... Am I retarded or what? It should be this. Because 1.5 is E. So... P O L, and then E, poly B E. That's what I wrote. So okay, I might be an idiot or something. Yeah, I very much might be an idiot because I don't understand what I'm doing wrong here. Well, let's give it a rest for a second and read the rest of his emails. Key to a tank. Hello, Igor. I'd like to talk to you about the key. Various attempts. It's a multi-point radial key, they're very difficult to reproduce. I managed to make a copy. We can undertake the nocturnal expedition we were talking about. Very impressive. Where have you hidden the key? Buried it in the boiler's ashes on the upper deck. No one will think of looking there. Okay. Noob code? What? Memorizing the codes is tough. To assist those who, like me, poke their noses in other people's business, shared password to all base personnel member of rank 0 can serve as a substitute to their individual password. Noob. Okay, that's potentially very important. Okay, so this is for the other key, but to be honest, I mean for the decryption method, I don't at all feel ready for this because it seems I am an idiot, you know, simply by the fact of not being able to even solve the previous one. So let's read that for the moment. Sorry to disturb you, but I'd like to discuss a sensitive subject that I am unable to discuss with my colleagues. It's about the vegetal and animal mutations I've observed in the cages. They are affecting plants, algae, gastropods and rodents, which were quarantined and so as soon as this was detected. What is your perspective? Your message worries me tremendously, not to mention the videos transmitted by your assistant. We are witnessing spontaneous variation phenomena that science has never recorded, I suspect. Will you be referring to this to your supervisors? That's precisely the question I wanted to ask you. It seems such a big discovery should not be hidden, and that the entire personnel should be informed. On the other hand, I'm worried about the psychological impact. Follow your conscience. That's all I can advise at the time. Okay. Okay, first, before I even get to this, I really should deal with this, but I feel like I'm retarded. Like, it is the code for, yeah, encrypt your sensitive files access code. So it is this. And now, 3.5 is P. Then 3.4 is O, and it's even listed here as a part of the example. Then 3.1 is L. Then 5.4 is Y. Then 1.2 is B, and 1.5 is it has to be this. So why isn't it working? I am logged as him. So What's the deal? It has to be this. Okay, I don't get that, and I feel bad about it because it's so simple and I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters, so yeah, this would be 6, but and I'm pretty sure it has to be this. PO. Then L. Then 5, 4 is Y. There is no other option. This is it. And it doesn't work. Okay, I'm kind of annoyed. So let's try the journal. And what was her password again? Something about eurythmia. Okay. Damn it, I don't actually remember the code to her journal, but maybe it's written down in here. Access code. Okay, this is potentially problematic because I've forgotten it. Access code to the door, so that's not exactly helpful. Notes about the computer system. Maybe it's in here. Nope.
Once the 2 parts of the hydroxide oxygen treatment are retrieved, we must mix them in the vacuum tank of the medical section to create the mix.
Oh, okay, it's an audio log of what she said, which... Arcane, okay. Which is actually pretty useful. It's good that it exists, because otherwise I wouldn't have remembered. Files... Arcane. Secured official codes. J. Palmer. So that's yet another code I have, but again, I don't want to read that yet because I feel like it's pointless. It's going to take far too much time. I'll wait until it becomes relevant to the story. This is about... Well, first I'll read this because it's shorter. I don't know what kind of connections Mike Lloyd had to the assistant position. Had to... What? I don't know what kind of connections Mike Lloyd had to get the assistant position. Okay. What kind of connections he had to get the assistant position. For months now, we've been told that the base is overstaffed. In any case, I was wary of him from the very first day. And with reason. Various things drive me to think that Lloyd is extorting money from the receptors in exchange for analgesics meant to dull the pain during the inhalations of hydroxide oxygen. He fails to mention that this class of anesthetics creates a serious neurological disorders. Many times I surprised him during his conversation with the receptors in the storeroom when they were a pretty woman, like number 111, Lloyd insisted apparently on an additional romantic text. Whoa, that's pretty disgusting, actually. Like, even the previous part was disgusting because not only is he bribing them with an anesthetic, so that's pretty much akin to torture, like, you know, subjecting somebody to unnecessary pain unless they pay you. But also, the anesthetic itself has, you know, what's the word? Side effects? What a sinister character. I have to alert security. It's time to end this kind of behavior. Okay, and this is a long file on the receptor number 112, which I think is me, but it's not entirely clear at this point. A young man in his 30s, of particular physique but with a haunted look, piercing blue eyes, with the look of a hypnotist or an opium addict, immediately asked the significance of the number and if there had been 11 other test subjects before him. He laughed about it, but I felt he knew already much about the experiment and that there was no use lying to him. His medical records note some telepathic abilities. Most test subjects develop these, but it's different in this case. He looks as if he knows your thoughts and seems to read you like an open book. Within days, has made enemies on the base. His presence makes others uncomfortable. He isn't human, declared Zeitfel. What does that mean? I find him quite charming. A profound suffering is hiding inside him. I know from his records that his parents abandoned him at birth, and he was raised in a military asylum. He decidedly keeps to himself about this period of his life, seemingly calamitous. It is clear that I am the only one who appreciates 112 on the ship. Everyone has taken issue with him and wishes him gone. Zeitfel would have already sent him below if I hadn't intervened, insisting that he was not ready. I don't believe his death would upset anyone. Feels the compassion I have for him and thanks me for it. I enjoy the long discussions we have. Certainly there's something between us, a kind of attraction. How will this end? During the staff meeting, Zeitfel violently condemned me. In front of the scientific personnel, he accused me of nursing feelings for 112 that were incompatible with my mission. I defended myself the best I could, but finally I was overwhelmed with emotion and broke into tears. Departure date was scheduled. No more than 10 days. This news upset me. He, however, seemed to expect it. Spent a night together with the surveillance camera unplugged. Must be crazy to admit that. Fateful date approaches. Zeitfel and that scum Lloyd are reveling in it. I don't care. The important thing is to enjoy the final days and to prepare him best as possible for his trial. He appears serene. Can he even imagine when he is being sent? Indeed he can. I have trouble believing, due to his clairvoyance, that he would not know. I didn't sleep in a wink. I took some pills to stay up. Sold them to me double the price, but who cares? The 112 is gone. I didn't dare to kiss him in front of the team. My heart is beating like a drum. He said something strange to me when he crossed through the door. I'll come back to get you. Impossible, I thought, but I believed him. Yes, I believe him. Well, maybe he did come back, because if I'm really him, then obviously I'm not dead. So, there is that. But, I'm not sure what the deal is with the codes. I might just be retarded. It's a sad fact of life, but that more often than not, I actually am. Like, I'm not a particularly bright person, I don't think. So perhaps I'm missing something obvious, but I'm going to give it a break for now. And actually start exploring the other deck next time, and then log into the necessary files as they come. But for now, this episode has been long enough, so I'm going to end it here. That's all for this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!